Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, how much depending on your location. Please join in the struggle to liberate our people from the contraption. Like and share videos, news update. Stop marginalizing Ndebo. Avoid another civil war. Ex-Biafra war commanders want Tinubu. That's what is happening now, that the two octogenarians who commanded the Biafran sector of Onitsha during the Nigerian Biafran civil war gave the strong advice in Calabar during separate interviews. Now both recall the terrible experiences of the 1967 to 1970 war and said it is not something that should be repeated in the country. Now Colonel Lekam Ofemokoi, retired, former ADC to the head of the state of the Biafran Republic, talking about Dim Chukwemeka Megojuku, and Colonel Afaha Assam Nsudo, retired. Yes. Now, in their separate interviews, they said that they don't want another civil war. Yes. They don't want a repeat of what happened between 1967 and 1970. In Lekam Okoye, who is now a lawyer, in his words, quote, I advise that agitators take constitutional means, not actions that will lead to another crisis. Crisis will not help us. I'm not in any way praying for another war. We should not start killing ourselves again. End of quote. Now this is what he said. Oh yes, now talking about Colonel Nsudo. Yes, he also bare his mind. Yes, saying that his major regret was having to fight against his brothers and friends in the army. Yes, in his words, quote, the war suddenly divided friends, colleagues and brothers whom we are so used to, ate together, slept together, and did everything together before the war. Then we began to kill ourselves. That's my greatest regret in life. My candid advice is that Nigerians should love and forgive themselves. My feelings against war is very strong. The Igbos should be part of Nigeria. The Igbos should not be marginalized. It will be the best thing for Nigeria if they are given equal opportunities. End of quote. You have seen it now. So these men are talking about the war. Yes. They said they regretted fighting that war because of what transpired. So they killed their friends. All of them were in the same army before the war broke out, and they divided. They polarized. They became antagonists. They became opponents. They started fighting themselves. And they said the same thing is still happening. The Igbo marginalization or the marginalization of Ndebo is still going on. He said, in the best interest of Nigeria, they should allow the Igbos to be integrated to the system fully. Yes. So that's the problem. They allow Igbos to have integration. Integrate them fully. So they are regretting the war. They say they don't want the war again. Of course, when people are saying the war, the Igbos is not interested in war. Or the Biafrans, they don't want another civil war to come. But they're not afraid of another war. That's it. The Igbos are not praying. They're not working for another war to come. The Biafrans, they don't want another war. But they're not afraid of the war either. That's the point. Oh yes. Before Mazi Nnamdi Kanu started agitation for Biafra, this renewed agitation for Biafra, he waited for years, from 1970, Gowon reiterated his the 3R mantra. Nothing happened. Yes, nothing. Murtala Muhammad took over government. Nothing happened. Olusegun Obasanjo took over as a military man. Nothing happened. Shehu Shagari, nothing happened. The Igbos being marginalized. The conspiracy theory continued. Yes, it enters Buhari, becomes worse. Now talking about Babangida, the same thing. Yes, to end Shireko briefly, wouldn't say that. It's just 3 months, wouldn't say it, but now continue to Abacha. Abacha, the same old story. Oh yes, now to the Absalom Abaka, who handed over to the what they call democratic rule. This sham they are practicing here. Now Obasanjo continued to Yar'Adua briefly, to Jonathan. Jonathan tried a little bit to integrate the Igbos. Oh yes. Now you are seeing Buhari. After Buhari, you are talking about Tinubu. Since 1970, how many years now? There are 3 major ethnic groups in Nigeria. One has not tested that position since 1970. The war ended. So before Muslim considered this agitation, I've seen all these things. Oh yes, I've seen this marginalization that these people are not ready to allow the Igbos to enter there. Yes. Now, we're not talking about entering or becoming the president. What about the strategic positions, like the service chiefs, the police IG? It was only during his regime, Goodluck Jonathan, that anybody becomes police IG. Talking about Onovo, and the one from Imo State. Yes, the one from Imo State, from Oguta or Haji. Yes. So that's IG of police. So that is it. And before he becomes the Abia man becomes chief of army staff in Ejirika. That is it. In Ejirika. So it was during Jonathan's regime or administration. But we have said it. We talk about National Security Advisor. Now lie. They will not give it to Igbo man since 1970. National Security Advisor, NSA, or the Defense Minister, Minister of Defense. Now lie. They will not give it to Igbo man. Igbo man have not tested this one. Minister of Defense or National Security Advisor. Now lie. Very strategic. This position we mentioned, very strategic. Apart from the president, the highest person in any government is the NSA. Forget about the secretary to the state government is the chief of staff. No, NSA, National Security Advisor, is the de facto president after the president. Now you follow the Minister of Defense. Okay? But no Igbo have become that position. I've attended such position since the war ended. So that's it. And you said, oh, we don't want another war. See if the Igbo is praying for another war. No. If you go to the fire, to the bush, and of all the fire you are seeing there, all the firewood, you decided to rake in the ant-infested firewood. When you come home, okay, the lizard will visit you. Lizard, you will host them. They'll be your guest. Oh yes, those who went to the forest or the bush and of all the firewood, they decided to gather ant-infested ones. When they come home, they play host to lizard. Lizard will be your guest. If you don't want lizard to be your guest, don't gather ant-infested firewood. That's the point. That's what happened. So when you talk about the wars, the Igbos are not paying for. But if it happens again that they will go into it, so be it. Who is afraid to defend himself, to defend his integrity and dignity? Nobody. Anybody who does that is a coward. And of course, the Igbos are not cowards, and they will never be. They are forebears. The ancestors are not cowards, and the offspring will never be, because the lion will never bear anything that will eat grass. Oh yes, the lion will never bear it. It will never be his offspring. It will never come from a lion. Anything that will be eating grass. No. Yes. So that is it. So if those who are regretting and they say, they killed themselves, it's not the fault of Biafrans. If you check the history of that war, what caused it, of course you realize that is still the integrity, the dignity of a people, of a pride ethnic nationality, is being in question, trampled upon, and of course, you wouldn't tolerate such thing as a human being, as a proud people, as a egalitarian society, as a people of international repute, Ndebo, the great entrepreneurs.